Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. What starts as an argument turns into a full-blown nightmare that no one on that street will ever forget. A tense confrontation between Will and Daniel explodes into shocking violence right in the middle of the street. But just when things couldn't get worse, Megan's terrifying reaction takes the entire situation to a whole new level, leaving the whole community shaken to its core. So, imagine this a normal day. The street is calm, people are going about their routines, and then suddenly everything just snaps. It all begins with an argument, not just a casual disagreement, but one of those heated, emotionally charged confrontations where you can already feel something bad is about to happen. Will approaches Daniel, and you can tell instantly this isn't going to end well. There's tension in the air, built up from months of unresolved issues, jealousy, and bitterness that's been quietly growing under the surface. Daniel is already emotionally exhausted at this point. He's been dealing with secrets, betrayals, pressure from all sides, and now he's being confronted head on. Before he even gets a chance to fully process what's happening, Will just loses it. Out of nowhere, Will explodes. Witnesses later describe it as terrifying. 1 second it's shouting, the second next, Will is lunging at Daniel with pure uncontrollable rage. The peaceful atmosphere of the street shatters instantly. People hear the noise, rush outside, and suddenly they are staring at something way more serious than just an argument. Daniel tries to calm things down. He tries to talk, to defend himself, to make Will see a reason. But it's useless. Will isn't listening anymore. He is completely consumed by anger. His fists start flying, catching Daniel off guard and sending him stumbling backward. And from that moment, it just gets worse. The attack becomes brutal, not just a quick scuffle, but relentless. Daniel is struggling to stay upright, trying to shield himself, trying to survive the situation more than anything else. People are shouting, begging for it to stop, but no one can get in fast enough. And then Megan. At first, she's frozen, completely stunned, like she can't believe what she's seeing. But that doesn't last long. Something inside her flips, and what comes out is something no one expected. Instead of calming things down, Megan completely loses control. Her emotions explode. She starts screaming, her voice cutting through the chaos. And suddenly it's not just a fight between two people anymore. It becomes something much darker. She lashes out, not just verbally, but physically too, pushing people away, shouting at anyone who tries to intervene. The crowd is horrified. People who once trusted her, who thought they understood her, are now watching a completely different person. Her anger, her fear, her desperation, it all pours out in the most uncontrollable way possible. She is no longer trying to stop the situation. She is fooling it. Meanwhile, Daniel is still trying to survive. He is injured now, shaken, barely holding himself together, but still trying to put some distance between himself and Will. But Will doesn't stop. He keeps coming, blaming Daniel for everything wrong in his life. Every punch carrying months of resentment. And Megan, she just keeps escalating things. She throwing accusations, shouting things that don't fully make sense to the people around her, making the whole situation even more chaotic. The crowd grows bigger as more residents arrive, shocked to see such violence happening right in front of them. At one point, Daniel actually pleads. You can hear it in his voice, anger mixed with desperation, as he calls out to Megan, hoping she will snap out of it, hoping she will help stop this madness. But instead, she says he deserves it. That moment hits everyone like a shockwave. You can feel the shift instantly. People who once thought Megan was misunderstood, now start to see something far more dangerous. Her behavior becomes unpredictable, swinging wildly between rage and panic. Finally, some residents step in. They try to pull Will away, but he resists, still desperate to continue the fight. It turns into a messy, desperate struggle. People grabbing, shouting, trying to separate them before it goes too far. Megan fights against them too, screaming that no one understands what Daniel has done. But her words are tangled in mystery, leaving more questions than answers. Eventually, with enough people involved, they manage to drag Will away. Daniel collapses against a wall, exhausted, heart barely able to stand. He's breathing heavily, clearly shaken, not just physically, but emotionally. This wasn't just a fight, this was something much deeper. And Megan? Her rage fades into silence. It's like reality finally hits her. The street, once filled with chaos, falls into this eerie quiet. People look at each other, trying to process what they just witnessed. Some rush to help Daniel, others just stare at Megan and Will, shocked, angry, confused. In that moment, the entire community feels broken. This wasn't just a random fight. This was the result of emotions that had been building for way too long: jealousy, secrets, resentment, all exploding at once. For Daniel, this moment changes everything. He's no longer just caught in drama. He's now a victim of something deeply personal and dangerously physical. For Will, this is a clear line crossed. There are consequences coming, and they won't be small. But the biggest shift, Megan. Her reactions completely redefines how people see her. This wasn't just emotional, it was volatile, unpredictable, and honestly frightening. The trust people had in her is shattered, and the entire community is no longer united. There's fear now, suspicion, questions that don't have answers yet. Honestly, this whole situation is disturbing on so many levels. Will losing control like that, that's already bad enough. But Megan's reaction, that's what really got me. Because instead of trying to stop the chaos, she became part of it. Maybe even made it worse. And that moment where she says, Daniel deserves it, that changes everything. You can't just come back from that easily. It makes you wonder what's really been going on behind the scenes. What do they know that we don't? Because this doesn't feel like the end. It feels like the beginning of something even darker. At the end of the day, this wasn't just a fight. It was a turning point. Relationships are broken. Trust is gone. And the fallout from this is going to affect everyone involved. So now, I've got to ask you, do you think Will went too far, or was this bound to happen? And what about Megan? Was that her true self finally coming out? Or is there something deeper behind her actions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy deep dramatic breakdowns like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because trust me, this story is far from over.